Hey guys, Robert again from Australian Camping 4-Wheel Drives, and today we're here with Shenae and, name's shocking.
Mine's a hard one, Nita.
Anita.
It's Yanita.
Yeah,
we shorten it to Nita, because you can say that.
And we're going to have a look at some axes. So if you haven't seen the one on saws, the video on saws, go and have a look at that one. We've gone through all the different types of saws and that type of stuff as well. But this one here, we're going to talk about axes today.
We are.
As well.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, the type of axes that you guys have. Didn't realise that these were axes. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've got here as well?
Well, I think these are brilliantly designed for the camping and four-wheel drive and, you know, hiking and bushcraft and all that sort of thing, because the key is minimal. Now, we did a training on this.
Minimalism.
Minimalism and also conserving energy. So that's the biggest thing, is conserve your energy. And if you're carrying around big, bulky things, then you're using your energy up in simply carrying this stuff, let alone using it and all that sort of thing.
So this stuff sounds like it's great for hikers as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So if you're a hiker camper, this would be perfect for you as well.
Yes.
The great thing about the axes as well is that they're not the long axes as they're nice and compact as well. They're evenly weighted throughout the whole axe.
But the bonus is they work. As tiny as that thing is, you will be amazed what you can do with it. Now, unfortunately, we are in this gorgeous showroom, so if we start hacking it up, we get in trouble. So you'll have to use your imagination today and trust Rob that these have enough weight to work well.
Yeah, so we'll pass it over to Rob.
We had a look at this one before, hey? And
so it has another clip as well.
Nice little safety feature on the handle so it doesn't fall out and land on your toe, because you probably will lose one. I mean, you've got 5, but they're useful, all of them.
But it's got some nice weight up this end here, hey?
It does.
Really feels like it. And,
and a nice thickness to it as well, because sometimes people just want to use it a little bit like a hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but that's got a little bit of thickness on the end of that as well, hey? And it looks nice and sharp there at the end. I don't know if I want to run my fingers along that and see how sharp it is.
Yeah,
not recommended.
Really, no.
But that feels really good, hey?
Another great thing about the axe as well, if you don't mind. They have a full tang blade, which means the blade continues going straight through the handle.
Ah, yes.
So if I don't chop my fingers off, I'll put this back in here. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. It has a piece of string on it though.
Well, we can pull it this way, so then actually no, we can't until we take the top off, can we?
No.
Yes, we can. Use some muscles.
There we go. So it means it has a full tang blade. So if I pop this out again.
And you can probably pull that off now and say, no, don't worry about it. It'll make the video interesting.
But yeah, it's, the blade continues going on through to the handle, so it has that strength in the axe. So you
the advantage of having it like that, exactly right. So instead of the blade just going into the part of the handle and then having plastic the rest of the way,
that's right.
Because it's got the steel going the whole way, it keeps the strength of it there.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, as you saw, that wasn't actually too hard to pull off, and except the portion I was trying to, because we've gone and tied a bit of string to it. Otherwise, we forget which products in our showroom are actually for sale and which one's a demonstration. And I mean, it works brilliantly for business. You sell the demo saws, but people tend to get a bit miffed when we pay full price for something we've used. So that's what the string's for. But it doesn't mean that the handle's going to fall apart on you easily, or that it's going to peel open when you don't want it to. The metal...
It's got little lugs in it there by the looks of it.
Yeah, and it hooks back, so it's a particular way you have to put it on, which is why we were like, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get this off without having this bit first, because this, like this side, loops in, so that won't actually just pull off like that. It has to sort of be peeled that way. And then the same when you're putting it back on, it's a particular sort of system. You have to hook one end in first and then sort of press it and lift it up over.
And the grooves here match the grooves inside the handle as well.
Okay, great. Excellent.
So all of the Silky Axes have that same feature. So they're all full tang. They all have that moulded handle that's sort of locked on that you can peel open or closed.
Yep.
Yeah, and it feels really good. Feels nice and solid.
Yes.
Cool.
Like to me, when I was looking at the axe before, I thought, it just seemed so small. It didn't look as if it would have much of a like a weight to it. It feels solid. You could use that really well. That'd be great. Great for chopping up kindling and all that type of stuff as well, probably, at the fireplace and that.
Yeah, really, really good for that. And even we did, I mentioned before, we did a survival course with an ex-SES warrior up on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. And he trialled all of these, because you may not realise that Shenae and I aren't really big axeman or
What are you trying to say?
I have to speak
Something like
that for myself. So as much as we have bashed a couple of pieces of wood with these and gone, oh yeah, they're really neat, we really aren't experts in the way of, oh, how does this compare to a different one? So we had Rich try them, and he was saying to us that even for he was sort of chipping away at logs to make them into points. He said, you know, you could.
Oh, I'd be perfect for that too.
Yeah, well, he was saying in a bush situation, you might for some reason need a crowbar or a shovel. So you can get a fallen log that's dried out a bit, and you can use something like that and shape it so that you've got a bit of a shovel end, or you've got a stake. You know, say you want to build that wind shelter or whatnot.
Exactly
you
right.
need to point those branches. So it worked a treat for that, and he was actually like, wasn't he? His expression was fabulous. Like he was just blown away by how good it was, and shows our ignorance because I'm like, really? Because I'm not looking at that thinking it looks amazing. And he was going, this is incredible. And I'm like, clearly.
That makes sense to me as well. There's a couple of YouTube channels out there I've looked at as well, where they like make a home base. And there's a lady, I can't remember her name, but she made this home base area, and she's got like timber hammered all the way around.
Yes.
And she would have done the same thing.
Yes.
It'd be perfect for that.
And so that's what's great, because it's got that bit of width there. You could use the back as the hammer to hammer those branches in that you've chiseled out.
Cool.
Well, just one other feature, if I could, and this goes across the board with the 3 different styles of axe that Silky do, is they all have this special rubber as a handle, and this is important because they've actually won awards for it. It's patent to Silky, so they'll be the only ones with it. But what's really important, particularly in an axe situation, is it's an absorbing rubber, so it absorbs vibration, so you're not going to get hand fatigue and stress, and again that whole conserving energy thing, with using a tool with this kind of handle. And we also mention often with this rubber is it's a really grippy rubber, so if you start sweating because it's hot or it's hard work, it's not going to get slippery. It actually gets tackier, and it's super comfortable to hold. So all of them have that special rubber handle.
Oh, sweet. Alrighty.
So so then we probably move on to the nutter.
What'd you call that? Nutter.
The nutter.
Nutter.
You know, we probably could be pronouncing it wrong too, but nobody here is Japanese that's going to correct me today, so we're all good. Apologies if I've done it wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's nutter. We're going with
sounds
it today.
good.
Yeah, sounds good. So we have 4 options in Australia at the moment, which is 2 different length options and 2 different the gold ones are beveled on 2 sides of the blade, whereas the silver one is a single-sided bevel. So we'll open it up to show you exactly what we mean by that. But then also size-wise, Shenae there has in the double a 240 length blade, and then she also had a 150, and this is millimeters blade. And then the single bevel is available in a 180 and a 240. So both of them are available in the 240, but the single you get it as a real sort of medium, is it medium baby? Yeah, 180, and then the double as a tiny little 150. So again, it sort of comes back to how much space you've got as to which size you want, and also weight. If weight's an issue, if everything's going in your backpack, every gram might be of importance. So that way you'll probably want to go the smallest you can.
Smallest, I see. Yep.
And handy, you know, to have something like this, because if you forget a tent peg, you can just make your own. So when we say the double beveled, we mean this one's singled, it's only shaped on one side and flat on the other.
This one's got on both sides there as well. So
as far as our knowledge goes with that, being the double beveled, it's centered, so all of the sort of direction is to the center of your cut.
Push everything out both directions.
Both directions, whereas this one's going to kick in the one direction. So good if you really just want the tool to say clear side limbs to create stakes, then the single bevel is probably going to be the way you want to go. But if it's sort of more versatile and you don't really know, then we're told the double is the better choice. And then as far as sharpening goes, if it's single, it's obviously easier. So that's worth considering. Is sharpening going to be an issue?
Half the time.
And speaking of sharpening, if you do have a Silky Axe and you want to sharpen it, to do that you just require a stone. So a flat stone is what you would use to sharpen a Silky Axe. And that's any of them, the Ono that we've just seen, or the Nutters, or the Yoki, which we're going to see in a minute. And so what type of use would you have for these guys? Like, how would people generally be using them? Do you know? So your nutter is a really sort of versatile, a little bit of everything type of tool. Again, it's got the thickness, so you could use it for a bit of a hammer. You could use it as a knife.
I could actually see you using that as a clearing tool.
Yeah, you could, absolutely. We're actually going to do a bit of a probably amusing video in a few weeks' time for our channel, which is Silky Saws Australia YouTube, showing you some even more unusual uses you may not have thought of for it.
Okay, cool.
But basically, if it's hard, you can cut it up. And if it's soft, it's even easier.
Yeah.
Fish heads, you know.
Oh yeah, well that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but
Meat cleaver.
and I mean, you can even whittle with it, so you can carve yourself something.
Yeah.
All sorts of uses. It could be an axe, it could be a knife, it could be a hammer. Yeah, a lot of different uses you find for it. And actually, Rich was also telling us another one. You know, if you are having a fire and it's been weather like we've had in Brisbane at the moment, which is super dry, so everything's probably dried out that's fallen from a tree, but then we've had all this rain, so then the external part of timber is wet.
Yeah.
So you want to shave off the edges of that timber so that you get to the dry core so that you can start fires easily. Well, something like this is ideal for that.
Yeah. It's definitely, man, they feel solid as
Yeah.
like you're not going to bend that.
And that comfortable handle again.
Yeah, it just that is strong.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Easily
great.
whack anything. Whack.
Yeah. And then again, they come in a really great case. So like the Ono, it's moulded to the tool, and then they always have this safety loop on the top that's going to hold the handle on. So there's no way that's going to accidentally fall out, which is really important.
Yes.
It's often with families when we're doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing with your Nutter is the attachment system.
Yeah, so on the back of it has like a belt clip.
Okay.
Here, so you can either, and it has a belt loop.
Ah, that's great.
So you can either
So
like
keep it on yourself.
Yeah, strap it to yourself, or you could put like a carabiner, like D-clip straight through that hole as well.
Yeah.
You'll be able to just carry it around, hang it up somewhere.
And if you don't like that belt loop,
It's pretty straightforward. Basically, you literally
take it off.
Clip it off.
take it off.
The whole thing clips off as well.
Yes, the whole thing clips off just like so. And then you have your little, you just pull it through.
I'll just take it up and just show them.
Absolutely.
So
all the sizes have that option.
this up here, they've got the little clip on it. If I can get that in there, right? And that clips in. So that's great, isn't it? Good idea.
The other cool thing to remember with all Silky products is everything is replaceable. So say for whatever reason you decided, no, I don't want that belt clip on, I'm going to take it off. And then like next month you're going to do something different. You're like, oh, that belt clip would have been really handy, but you can't remember where you stuck it. You can buy just that belt clip.
Oh, that's
or,
great.
you know, you did this and then you tied it and it's like, oh, I've lost half my handle. You can buy just the half that you lost.
That's great.
If you can basically pull it off, you can buy it as a part.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Unlike a car I used to have, and I had to replace the whole thing.
Yeah. And this is the other thing, like we're talking axes now, but even previously in one of your videos we talked about saws. It's not ridiculously expensive. So I know some brands, they might say, oh yeah, you can get replacement parts, but you go to buy it and it's like, oh, it's like $2 cheaper than the whole thing. It's ridiculous. Not with Silky, it's all very comparable and reasonable. So parts are available and they're good prices.
Great, excellent. Okay.
And then popping over to the Yoki.
Yes.
This looks interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So this is a slightly longer blade compared to the other axes here. But basically it is exactly what you would expect in a machete.
Whoa.
Yes, so just...
But it's compact, like a lot of machines are huge. Again, you've got to store this thing and they often don't have cases, so they're a bit dangerous if you get
It looks a bit scary.
It is.
Okay, this is cute. It's compact, it's little.
Reminds me of a little bird.
We're taking all the fear factor out of it.
Yeah. So yeah, basically it's to cut, slash those long grasses. You can vines, and having that hook as well. You can just, but it's also great for the camping aspect. You can still cut kindling with it. Just
the one thing to remember though is it's not as thick as the other two options. So your Nutter and your Ono are very, very thick. So that's why we sort of said you can use them as a little bit of a hammer. Whereas this is much thinner, so you wouldn't be hammering with this.
This feels a lot lighter too.
Yes, because of the thickness of the steel.
Definitely does.
Yeah.
Like I could see you out there slashing grass and whatnot if you're trying to cut a pathway through. That just feels really good for that type of purpose, doesn't it?
Because I know I was talking to a customer earlier last year and he was saying that he had the machete because he lived on acreage and he went through on his motorbike and he wanted to clear it, so he got the Yoki to just slash those.
Looks perfect for that. It looks really good for that.
Snakes. So and it comes with the canvas. casing as well to keep the blade nice and protected.
Yeah.
And it velcros on, so again, not going to
And
accidentally
it has the
open.
little safety clip.
And the safety loop on the handle.
It feels really nice and solid too, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And,
like reinforced, so it's not a soft case. It's a hard case.
So these ones have a different type of clip by the looks of it.
Yeah, so these ones aren't designed necessarily to be worn like the
Yeah.
Nutter is. So the Ono and the Yoki are more just for safety and storage, whereas the Nutter, they could kind of picture
put a
you
belt
might
through
go
it,
for a
that's about
hike
it.
and it might be a handy thing to have with you. So that's
Yeah.
why they made it so you could, wear it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And you can still attach it to strapping on a backpack
yeah, you
as
could.
well.
Yeah, definitely. Great, excellent. All right.
Yeah, that's
So they're all high quality metals that they use, and they're designed specifically for this purpose. So they are as soft and as hard as they should be for the application that they design them for. But we always like to make sure that you tell your customers, and we tell ours, that, well, yours aren't customers, they're viewers, but you guys, very, very important. These are the best tools you can buy. Silky make world leaders in products. Everything they make is amazing and wonderful, and we want them to stay that way. They want them to stay that way, and you should be able to have these things for life. They should be something that is passed down generation to generation. But we are in Australia, and our trees have sap that is harsh to tools. So the sap will eat through they coat them in chrome, they coat them in all sorts of coatings, but it eats through them all.
Okay.
Even stainless, our saps will eat through stainless as well. So the only way to keep these beautiful, shiny and sharp and ready to go is clean them, look after them. We highly recommend you clean them. We have a cleaning product that we love. It's made in Australia, 100% natural, environmentally friendly, all those wonderful things. But it works really well because it's full of tea tree oil.
that stuff.
That stuff over there. But I mean, so that's the lubricant, so the white one. We make it really hard because it doesn't actually clearly say very easily what it is, but it is the best product. So that one there. It's great for cleaning sap off tools. And then you need to do what you grabbed before, which is a protectant, which is the lanolin. So this is available in so many different brands, but it's sheep oil basically. And what the sheep oil does, when you spray that over a clean surface, it creates this protective coating that seals it so the oxygen can't get to the blade and therefore the corrosion and rust process can't happen. So if you clean your axe or your saw and then you spray it with a lubricant like that, it will stay beautiful and shiny for years and years and years. The sharpness, that all depends on what you're hitting it with.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, clean it, protect it, and it'll be good.
That's great, guys.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciate you taking the time today to show us these range of products.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
they all look really good, hey. I suppose my favourite. So I love this guy over here, eh?
We've made it look very pretty.
When we had the handle attached, that was great.
Yeah.
That feels really good, guys. And I didn't actually mind that either. I actually quite like that because it feels nice and light. And I can see, if you're out and you need to clear a track or something like that, that'd be perfect for you. When you get forward driving and sometimes you're not too sure where you're going, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
That would be great. So yeah, thanks guys for taking the time today, hey, to spend with us and show us the range of products. We really do appreciate it. I'm sure the viewers will enjoy that as well, hey. And so thanks a lot.
No problem, anytime.
All right then, guys. So we'll catch you next episode. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.